That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the TUBCAST. Tonight we're going to be talking about Batman and his buddy Ben Affleck, as well as a bride who, wants you to look nice. We have a special guest with us tonight in Jeremy's absence. This is Eddie Fossler from the Podcast Arcade. We'd like you all to give him a warm welcome. Yes. And as always, my name is Eric, and I am joined by Kyle.
Hey, that's me.
And not Jeremy. Obviously, this is not Jeremy. Don't get confused.
Right. I'm not Jeremy on any level.
Crazy Legs has already noticed that there is a new guy. He says he doesn't need this kind of disruption in his life.
Who the hell is this new guy? I'm
Crazy.
Eddie.
It's Eddie.
I'm Eddie, Crazy Legs.
You may have met him
a couple of years ago at Comic-Con when you visited. Yeah. Crazy's in Minneapolis, so he's probably freezing to death right now.
He is. Yeah. I'm glad he's alive.
Yeah.
Thanks for checking in.
Are you alive, or is this he communicates with the dead a lot, so this could be him just talking to us as a ghost.
That is true.
I will talk to a ghost as much as a live person.
Yeah, they're more entertaining. They see things that other people don't. It's like the invisibility power thing.
Exactly.
You could just be in a room while some guy is secretly really into My Little Pony, and you're just watching him slowly remove his pants, and it's a weird thing, but you're a ghost and you're there.
You're a ghost. It's normal when you're a ghost.
It's fine. You're just like, hey,
that's your everyday.
Yeah, I see this guy. It's a brony. It's cool.
If you're a ghost, Crazy Legs, move this Whiplash He-Man figure in front of me.
Yeah.
He didn't move.
So. It didn't move.
He's not dead, everyone.
We got to wait 30 seconds for that delay.
That's true, delay.
We'll see what happens in a few seconds.
Yeah, once he hears you say that, then it'll move. It's just
Minneapolis is one of my favorite Midwestern towns, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah.
You mean city? How dare you call it a town?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean
it's the Midwest.
They might get offended.
They're gonna beat me up. Town. We a few months ago, saw Phil Collins. The incomparable Phil Collins in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Maybe we do this thing where if someone they earn $10 while they watch the show, and if they have enough, they can pay for a dance where Kuipers, the intern, gets up and he does a little dance, and they get to pick a song. But maybe we could get
Easy Lover.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to see Kuipers dance. Easy Lover.
So if anybody can afford it tonight, let's make that happen.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
Throw out those tub bucks.
No, thank you for being here.
Yes.
Jeremy, he decided to
abandon us again.
Try to use this opportunity to disprove global warming because it's cold, right? So that means it doesn't exist. And he had to go to Washington. He's on a mission.
Right.
But we have you here in his place.
Yeah.
I'm sorry ahead of time.
And again, if you missed it when I was yelling over the music, this is Eddie from Podcast Arcade, local Omaha podcast network. And you're involved in about at least 3 to 4 podcasts all. Oh, no. That did not take long
at
all.
He said for later.
Oh, okay. Wow, all right.
So we're good.
500 tub bucks. That's a dance? That's the going rate?
Dance.
It's expensive.
Oh, he has to dance. To Easy Lover?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I think that's what he wanted because,
I said it, and he threw down the money, so there it is.
All right.
But
go ahead. Yeah, so tell us a little bit about the podcast you're involved in.
Oh, goodness. Like you said, the Podcast Arcade, it's kind of a network. I use that term kind of loosely. It's a group of friends, friend podcasts. And I do produce 4 of the, I think right now we're up to 6 total in our network.
Cool.
I'll list them all off, but look us up online. We're on Facebook. That's one of our primary ways of communicating to the world through, for the network. I produce 4 of them, being Paranormal Dads, Daydream Instruction Manual, Falcon Punch Thunder Dads, and Make Eternia Great Again, a podcast dedicated to He-Man. Because the world needed that.
That's impressive to me because He-Man is, it's not around anymore for one. But, this is coming from the guy who also wants to do a Groundhog's Day podcast where we only talk about the movie Groundhog's Day. So I shouldn't be too critical of your He-Man podcast.
No, I love it, though.
But it is interesting that you're able to perpetuate that. Now, does it involve the comic books as well? Or is it, okay.
So what we do is we feature a character. We'll pick one character from the Masters of the Universe, and we'll discuss the comic book version of them, the cartoon version of them, and the toy.
Okay.
Because this toy line, this whole thing was notoriously notorious, I guess, for
ridiculous characters.
And then not having them line up at all.
Right.
So like the toy did not resemble the cartoon and did not also resemble the comic, and so there was no consistency in there.
Well, you brought us this gift tonight, or you brought me this gift of all. I mean, I'm not as familiar with He-Man, so I will call him Rockman.
You're not far off.
What is his actual name?
That is Stone-Dar.
Stone-Dar. Now, see, I had this toy when I was a kid, but it was from a garage sale, and then it was later sold in a garage sale. And I wasn't familiar with He-Man all that much, but I did notice that a lot of their toys had these crazy, now toys just seem so lazy, right?
Yeah,
they're just like, hey, their arms and legs move. But these guys did cool things, like he turns into a rock.
He turns into a rock.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey, kids.
Wasn't there one that? Now maybe I'm confusing other cartoons, but wasn't there one where something opened out of his chest or something?
No, you're remembering one of my favorite characters, Rio Blast.
Okay.
He was a cowboy.
Yeah, the cowboy guy.
And his chest would open up where all the important stuff lives.
That's what I thought.
He's like, lungs, heart, I don't need those. Guns.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole
guy was cool.
The whole premise of like a cowboy within the realm of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe just sounds very... I watched there's that Netflix documentary about the toys that made us, and I was on the back end of after He-Man's popularity had started to dwindle. So I never really... I don't think I ever had a He-Man toy.
Really?
Age-wise, I was just on the tail end of that by the time I was able to get action figures and stuff like that. I had no idea, and they talk on that documentary, like half of the stuff was we just need to make more toys because they already had bought all the ones that were there, so we've got to come up with some other crazy...
It was so poorly thought out by these guys, and it was so typical of the early 80s. I don't want to get on like that, oh, I'm so old, check this out, guys.
Yeah.
But it was the early 80s. They weren't thinking ahead. They were just make the toys, the kids will buy the toys. And then they bought them, and they're like, we got to make more. And so, and so they're like, I don't know, Lizard Man? They were just throwing out anything that would stick to the wall, and for whatever reason, man, it hit hard, and people loved it.
It was like they were developing characters for the cartoon just to justify a toy, or were they just making toys that had nothing to do with the cartoon?
So the idea was initially the cartoon was a way to move the toys.
Right. Kind of like Power Rangers and a lot of stuff out of that.
So the toys actually came before the cartoon.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
They were doing the toys, and then they were like, well, how do we... Because this all comes back to Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
We could watch this, and you could watch this in the documentary too, but it was like, we have these toys. How do we get the kids to play with the toys?
Mm-hmm.
I know, we'll do... the first pitch was the comics, those little mini comics that would come with the figures. And then, right behind the mini comics, Filmation, the studio that had done the cartoons... they were fresh off of Black Star.
Oh, okay.
And so it was a kind of a similar barbarian-y kind of thing.
Right.
And so they kind of were like, hey, we can do a cartoon. And so that's when the cartoon came into play. So they were kind of right behind each other, but toy first for sure.
Yeah.
Crazy Legs. I've been beat up too many times for my He-Man fandom. Me too, man. I'm with you. We're buddies now. Look at that. My mom sold my Castle Grayskull. Why? I'll never forgive her.
It's so great.
I have a great...
I'm sorry, Crazy.
Oh,
that
dude,
sucks.
Yeah. I have a great Grayskull story. I won't kill us with it here, but it's almost like a Rosebud thing from Citizen Kane. Grayskull. Anyway,
man,
it's a fun time.
I'm impressed with your knowledge. Now, I was a Brave Star kid. So, do you remember Brave Star at all?
Done by the same Filmation.
Thing? Was it the same thing? Okay.
Yeah.
I had the whole town.
You did not.
Yeah, I had the whole town. I had the figures, and I loved the horseman
because the horse would turn into
he'd stand upright. And he had a gun, and he'd just shoot dudes, and he was just blasting fools, and it was a good time.
Yeah,
that cartoon was pretty awesome.
Brave Star was amazing. It was like Cowboy He-Man, basically.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
And that's right up your alley.
Yeah, Cowboy
Cowboys.
He-Man.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a sucker for a cowboy.
Then Rio Blast is your guy.
Okay,
I'll have to get you a Rio Blast.
I had Rio Blast. I didn't remember his name, but I did have him, and I just liked that his chest exploded with guns.
It was right.
It was
That's
exciting.
pretty cool.
So tell me more about your movie or your podcast based on that Bill Cosby movie.
Oh, my podcast based on the Cosby movie Ghost Dad?
Yeah.
You're trying to throw me a curveball there. Oh, gosh. So we have a podcast called Paranormal Dads. People watching this are going to be like, why is this guy making so many podcasts?
Yeah.
What hole is he trying to fill in his life? I never got hugged as a child. So the podcasts are my parents.
Okay.
That's nice.
So Paranormal Dads is just a fun take. It's me and two buddies, Andy and Pat, and we basically pick a paranormal subject and we discuss it. And what we'll do is we will break this show up into 3 segments. We do recent sightings, pop culture and the paranormal. So we'll pick something that's been featured in pop culture that has to do with the paranormal thing. There's a lot, by the way.
Is there really?
There is. You wouldn't think, but as you start thinking about it, you're like, oh my gosh, there's tons of pop culture, paranormal stuff.
Okay.
And then we get into what we call the main mystery, where we discuss that paranormal topic du jour. So it's a fun time, and we have fun with it. We ride that nice line between, discussing it seriously, but also having fun with it, because it's, some of the stuff is kind of really out there, and you can't talk about, the Jersey Devil and not have a little fun with the topic.
Right.
So do you go on location with that podcast ever, or like visit haunted houses? Or
so that's in the works. We have done one specific. We did do a Bigfoot expedition, and we did a podcast kind of featuring that, and we did a video, but we did have to sign a non-disclosure thing, so we can't show it publicly.
Oh no!
So we can show it privately. You can
come
over to the house. We'll show you. But the long and short of, look, you found us. There we are. But the long and short of it is we have some plans to do some on-location stuff. But like the name implies, we're also dads, so it's kind of hard to get all the schedules to line up.
Right. Sure.
But that's the plan. We're doing we're planning, no hard date set, but a Paranormal Dads road tour in a summer at some point to go on a road trip and hit some paranormal locations and do some podcasting.
I mean, as a paranormal dad, it would only be responsible if you brought your children into terrifying haunted houses and let them spend the night.
That's actually pretty awesome.
We have like not a spin-off show, but a spin-off episode that we want to do called the Paranormal Kids. Mm-hmm. And we're going to take our teenage daughter's boyfriends and take them out into the woods and leave them.
This works out on many levels.
That's
really.
The plan. We're going to leave them in the woods and record them, and then the comedy will just unfold. Mm-hmm. That's the plan.
Crazy Legs says, "I'm not falling for that. Come to my house, I'll show you thing again."
That's smart. Very smart.
We'll arrange a super secret showing of the movie, and we won't say where it's at until the last second.
Okay.
Pop-up bars, pop-up Paranormal Dads.
Awesome.
Is there like a time frame on it for the non-disclosure agreement that you've signed?
I would think yes. I didn't.
Okay.
This shows you how bad I am. I'm like, this looks long and boring. Let me just sign it.
Right. Right.
Lawyers.
Man.
Knocking on the door.
But I do believe at some point we could be able. I think the big thing too is that we did use licensed music in it.
Oh, okay.
And so to cut the movie, and so if we wanted to really do it ethically, we'd have to recut the movie without the licensed music.
Gotcha.
Just me making fart sounds the whole time.
Right.
You could make a musical.
I could.
Yeah,
just sample it and then just
loop it.
Yeah, make some music out of it.
It's not stealing, it's sampling.
Score by Pork and Beans.
Yes.
That's great. And you said that we covered He-Man, we covered Paranormal Dads.
Oh my.
And now we've got, at least two more. Wait.
Daydream Instructional Manual?
Yes.
Now what's that?
Daydream Instruction Manual is a
Instruction or destruction?
Instruction.
Instruction.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. It's to help reinvigorate the imagination of the sad us's that we've become. The tagline I have for it is sometimes your life is full of not cool, boring stuff. Come here for fun stuff. The idea, it's like a nerd variety show. We just try to kind of focus on a topic. Usually it's a throwback type topic, like remember when kind of thing. And then we discuss it in kind of a positive way, but we have fun with the topic too.
Sure.
And typically we try to feature a guest, a local creator guest as well. We're actually kind of reformatting the show right now. This Saturday, we're going to be doing a Facebook Live video of it with our new segments, and so stay tuned for that. But it's going to be basically like a quick catch-up, kind of what we're doing here, catch up with what we're doing. Here comes the burp, by the way.
Oh, it's fine. You warned us that it might happen.
I did.
With the soda.
And then the second segment's going to be the main chunk of it. This segment, this Saturday is going to be 1989, basically all of the cool films that came out during that year, and discuss, 10 of those different movies, kind of like a fun,
cool.
Remember when that was a crazy year, by the way. For
1989.
movies. Yeah. If you look at all the films that came out in '89, that's insane.
Yeah. It's like 1996 for video games.
It is.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
I don't think it gets this good ever again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then after that, we'll feature basically like a segment where we play like a game show. And we let people kind of be involved with that. So that we're kind of recutting the podcast there, but it's kind of just a fun escapist kind of thing that, very, very not similar, not robbing men in the tub, but it's funny when I saw you guys, I'm like, they're kind of doing what we're doing. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. Crazy Legs says to you, Edward, I could come on your dad show and possibly channel the spirit of dead wrestlers. My wife says I'm not mature enough for a summoning at my house.
Hey, summon away. Okay. We'll get something lined up.
We have definitely had Randy Savage call into this show.
He has, yes.
Multiple times.
Nice.
So you never know.
Always liking to snap into a Slim Jim.
I'm open to this. And then the last one is Falcon Punch Thunder Dads.
That's right. Okay, there are 4.
That's the health and fitness podcast. We just kind of talk about being active. I mean, the big thing now, challenge with all of us, at least most of us, as we get older, is finding time to be somewhat active and fit that in your life. And so we kind of talk about that with another friend of mine. He's insane. I was really good for a long time, and I got kind of really busy and just didn't stay on the bus. He is still on the bus. He does these things called adventure races.
That already scares me. Just the name.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah. They have these checkpoints all over this like every miles, and you just run and bike and swim and get them, and it's insane. He's very hardcore. So we discuss those kinds of things. Burp City here over here. For,
that RC Cola will do it to you.
It's gonna make it.
We'll blame Jeremy for that being the selection in the fridge.
Yeah.
It's so,
Where's the water?
Burpy. Yeah. And then also, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the other shows. We have Geek Vice on the network. I don't help produce that one.
Is that about like nerdy drugs?
It is.
Okay.
All the street nerd drugs.
Okay.
You take Nintendo cartridges and grind them up into powder.
Snort them.
Snort them.
Okay. Just snorting the crack off the back of a Koopa.
Got me that Mega Man 2.
Yeah, I know.
And then Geek Vice, they're kind of a tabletop gaming, and they kind of do touch base on like TV shows and films and stuff like that. And they do a gaming type channel as well.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
And then lastly, and not least, is Underground Inc., co-hosted by Ben, Anthony, and Billy, my co-host from Daydream Instruction Manual. Zombilly, if you will, Billy Peck. And they discuss, what they do is they watch a movie, and they'll have a commentary during the whole film. The idea being you watch,
you sync
it up, and you watch it with them. So
that's awesome.
And the comedy ensues. So great shows. I'm biased, but check them out if you want.
Is there? Can they just go to like Podcast Arcade something?
Yeah, podcastarcade.com. And then also we're on Facebook, and then it's thepodcastarcade.com.
You got the THE.
You got to get the
THE.
Okay.
And then you can go onto like all the different podcast sites. We're on pretty much all of them at this point, I think. The SoundClouds, the Google Plays.
Right.
Crazy Legs would like to inform you that he's like, I kind of like Ed. He's like a younger, less conservative Jeremy who doesn't shout at me about guns and cold fronts.
Yeah, pretty much.
He thinks I'm younger.
Yeah, so
I'll take that.
Yes.
I think it's funny. Anyway, guns. Rio Blast guns. He has guns in his legs too, by the way.
Who's that?
Rio Blast.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, that's right.
He has thigh guns.
Thigh guns. They pop out. They pop down. Actually, yeah,
they pop down out of his thigh. Boom, boom.
Yeah, that's
so.
Cool.
That's
he's ready for anything.
I mean, when you bring a thigh gun.
Yeah, you're ready for anything if you've got guns that pop out of your thighs.
I bet going through TSA is a nightmare for him.
Well, and he ruins the joke. Check out my gun show, and he opens his thighs up, and you're like, whoa, dude.
Yeah, it's second date at least. Come
Exactly.
on, close your thighs.
Hashtag Rio Blast, close your thighs. Very good.
Cool. Well, yeah, man. Thanks for being on the show.
No, thank you for asking me, guys. This is exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. We. Kyle, did you have any questions for him? Sorry, I kind of just like.
No, I think you.
On a tirade.
You went after
Deep
pretty much
dive.
everything. I know, like you just said. Really, your biggest thing is that you're kind of a glutton for creative punishment.
I am.
Because it's you, and you even said that we were talking before the show about how you've got like all these different ideas of things that you are like trying to put into motion.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't know how you do as many podcasts and have other ideas that you are working towards.
That's sad.
It's no, I mean that's cool. Like that's the thing, and I mean with what we all do with this type of show, I mean it's definitely passion project, something that we like to do.
Yeah.
Same thing for you and doing that many
Dude.
different shows, and obviously that takes up time, but I mean, it's because it's your hobby. It's your thing that you like to do. Everybody has a hobby.
Right.
So
I was like, you know that time you spend watching TV and all the other things you do to enjoy yourself? I don't do those things anymore.
right.
Don't have time for that.
No, we're actually. And this is not. I'm excited because I want you guys to know this. We're actually working on a parody comic book for He-Man as well.
Oh my gosh,
Using
That's ambitious.
Rio Blast as a central character, and we are very much into the production of it.
Feel
right
free
now.
to use that close your thighs gag.
Close your thighs.
You got it.
We
You got
will try
it.
to sneak that in there.
Okay.
Yes, it's already written, but I'll find a way to get it
Just
in there.
get it in there somewhere.
Yeah, we sat down over the Christmas holiday, did a writer's room, which is the most fun you'll ever have. If anybody, you guys have done this, I know you have sat down to a big brainstorming session,
Yeah.
and we did that all day. We locked the door and we just sat down and we're not leaving this room until we have a story.
Yeah.
So we just did it, and so we're looking to have it launched around Comic-Con time.
That's awesome.
So we'll keep you posted.
We
on
also
that.
have a comic book idea, but it's never going to take off. And
You can do it. You can do it. You gotta get the right people in the room,
We've talked
though.
about it. We're really going to have to work on it. We're going to need to
Yeah.
have all the funding before we even announce the
Yeah.
name
It's
of the
not
book.
that
Yeah.
bad.
So
I mean, we really need to make sure that like our lives are pretty much in order before we put this book out.
not to tease it too much because you're definitely not going to hear the premise
Now
on
I
this
want
show.
this book in my life.
We'll talk after
talk
the show.
after the show.
All
Okay,
right,
yeah.
all right.
Anyways,
I'll be patient.
real quick, we need to get this Kuipers dance in. It was paid for. And Kuipers, I know
$500.
I know we have a guest, and maybe you're feeling a little shy,
Easy lover.
but you're not allowed to. Where's that hissing coming from? Are we
Is-
going to
is it the-
explode?
I hear the hiss.
Oh, I think there's water on somewhere.
Oh.
I'm sure the other tenants are showering. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Anyways, Kuipers, are you prepared? Don't be shy in front of our guests.
He's stretching.
Make
He's getting
sure that this
stretched
is the
out.
best dance you've
get
ever
those
given.
quads.
Now, our production level is camera on a tripod, so if you to help you understand what goes on here, is he has to try to squat dance so he can be in sight of the camera.
Yeah.
It's great.
And it
No.
makes it a little more interesting for him.
Yeah.
So, Kuipers,
Just a little more.
when you're prepared, let me.
and Eddie's going to get to see,
I'm so excited for this.
the panel side of things.
I split my pants doing karaoke to this song one time. So
Wait, we
We'll
need
get
that
back to
story.
that,
Yes.
I did.
All right. I think the music video has way too much exposition
Too much
at the
video.
beginning.
Too much
so
build up.
Just hold on a second, and we'll get there. Okay.
Get to the meat of the.
There we go.
Before you know it, you'll be on your knees. She's an easy lover. She'll take your heart, but you won't feel it. She's like no other, and I'm just trying to make you see. She's the kind of girl you dream of.
He's into it now. Look at him. He's not even joking. The music has taken Kuiper. He's gone. She's back in 1984.
Oh my gosh.
Leave you and deceive you.
I'm falling in love with Kuiper, guys. I'm a happily married man, and
Yeah, get you some
500 tub bucks worth it.
every time. Come on, Kuipers.
Tell me Kuipers is not single. How is this man?
He's looking. He's open. I mean, if you want to leave your wife, I mean, it's
Mission accomplished tonight, Kuipers.
Kuipers, we finally found you love.
All it took was seeing him dance to Philip Bailey and Philip Collins.
All right. We don't want you to die. All right. Thank you, Kuipers.
I mean, my
to
gosh.
Yeah.
be fair,
I'm
you know,
applauding this.
it is really hard to not fall in love with Kuipers when you're sitting on this side of the desk because I mean it's pretty much just a booty dance.
It's Bootyville.
in your face.
That's
over
all
here.
booty.
Yeah.
It was all booty.
All booty.
It's all booty.
My heart's
all
aflutter.
Okay.
I was taken away. I was
Yes.
not
It
even
was-
on this planet anymore.
It was good.
Man, you guys set the bar high already.
Crazy Legs would like to know: are those jeggings?
They were jeans.
Have some dignity, Kuipers.
That is good stuff. There's a long quote. I can't.
Yeah, somebody.
Yeah,
JJ, welcome to the chat. Thanks for leaving us a long tirade. Did you get through that, Kyle? Did you
I think
proofread it?
I think it's lyrics of something. There's a couple of
Yeah.
spots. I see Gucci Gang a couple times.
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
Said they're going to pop like Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, and they hate taxes.
Okay.
I'm Dogecoin all the way, guys.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I bought some Bitcoin just to watch it fail. It was
Yeah.
great. It was really cool.
Were you tempted to sell it at one point when it was all like crazy high?
I bought it after.
Oh,
I was like, you know
there it
what?
is,
I'm
yeah.
going to be the real rebel here and buy it when it's failing.
That's good, though.
Yeah,
That's pure.
I bought some of it with the Cash App with the free $5 that
Yep,
I
yep.
got for signing up on a referral.
nice.
So
There you go.
I've got like only $2.50 worth left of cryptocurrency.
Hey,
But maybe someday.
Crazy Legs would also like you to know, Eddie, that maybe Kuipers isn't available because he is married to his work,
I get it.
which is spaz dancing, mostly to Christmas music.
That explains my life so much.
I get it, man. Kuiper won some cool points with me. You want some Eddie Bucks?
Yeah,
Kuipers.
Eddie Bucks. You'll have to implement that.
I'll have to-
It's
great.
it's a make believe money. It's kind of like the U.S. economy,
Right,
really.
exactly.
We get fake money and we pretend it matters.
It's a social contract.
yeah.
It's great.
The tub bucks are not on the gold standards. What I'm trying to say.
Right. Darn it.
Not even close.
I'm buying my groceries at $10 tomorrow. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You got like a tub buck card, and
Guys,
It keeps getting run it again.
I'm being arrested. That's good. It's just you got to run it again.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Oh, man.
The crazy hiss. I hope our listeners aren't hearing that. And I'm going to apologize for it just in case you are, because it sounds like we're being abducted by aliens.
Did we
or sucking
isolate what
into
that is?
a wormhole. But
I think it's water running.
I believe it
through
is.
one of the buildings.
someone's taking a bath.
We're sprinkling.
I'm
it on.
hoping that no one hears it and they're going to be like, "What are you guys are crazy?"
We're actually in a tub. That's what's going on.
Right.
We stick to the gag.
Yep.
We are men in a shower now, and you can hear the whine of our pipes.
Right.
And that's also
and the wine of
That's-
our space heater that's keeping us
awesome.
warm.
That's-
Oh, the exchange rate for Ed Bucks to Tub Bucks.
Yeah, what
Ooh.
is that the same as a Shroot Buck to a Stanley Nickel?
It's definitely it's Tub Bucks are worth more.
I mean, for now.
It's
but
established.
once the Ed Bucks take off.
Once
it's-
that comic book is out, and
it's just,
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Anyways, so to take you on a journey of what we do here, I'm going to go ahead and start with our typical question and ask Kyle, what have you been doing this past week?
oh man, what have I been doing? I have watched some TV. I've played some video games.
That's what we do at Trash, by the way.
Just
we
throwing
just toss it over the. No, I haven't gotten very far because I'm waiting for
In
my
what?
in watching the new Kimmy Schmidt that was.
Oh, did you
released
start
here.
watching that?
We started the fourth
yeah.
season over again just because my wife was like, I don't remember what happened in that
okay.
short period of time, and it kind of felt like it had left on like a semi cliffhanger mid season. So we started that over again. Haven't gotten to any of the new ones, and then we recently started watching Veep on HBO.
Oh, really?
Which we hadn't ever watched, but we were kind of looking for something that was comedy and new a couple weeks ago, and started watching that, and it's actually pretty funny. It took a couple episodes to really kind of feel what the vibe of that show is going to be, but
Yeah.
have you watched that at all?
I haven't, no.
Okay, it's pretty funny, and I like the fact that it's got a little bit of that political satire without it being something that feels like it's trying to tell you an opinion on things. It's
Yeah.
just more or less like the ridiculousness of what being in office, regardless of which side of the fence you're on.
That's got
and-
Elaine and Buster in it, right?
Right,
Is that
Elaine and Buster.
All right. And is that's been? I mean, is it
I-
still
I think-
airing?
yeah,
Or it's still-
I think
okay.
they've got a new season that's supposed to come out this summer that I think is like the 6th or 7th season. So,
All right.
but other than that, I picked up Gris on the Switch this week.
How's that?
It's phenomenal. It's if you haven't seen anything about it,
it looks really pretty.
It's very pretty. The animation style, it is very art driven. You start out in like this almost like grayscale, and it slowly, as you progress through the game, there is more color that you unlock. As it's like basically this story of a girl that is dealing with some kind of traumatic loss or
Yeah.
something. It doesn't really specify anything. Nothing really is in a concrete type of world.
yeah.
There's no like dialogue or anything else. It's just music and this art visual. It's almost one of those where you're kind of watching a movie, but there's like little puzzles along the way that you are getting. And it kind of reminds me of Inside and what was that other one by the same people, Limbo.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of
Yeah.
got that vibe to it, but like in this, the art of it is just fantastic.
I really dig those art games.
Yeah.
Braid was a big one. If you guys remember that years ago.
yeah.
Years
Yeah.
ago. Now.
Yeah.
I'm older. But I love those kind of aesthetic-y kind of games.
Yeah, it's one of those that you're like, it's not something that's a new invention of the wheel as far as like gameplay is concerned, but it's something that just like I took it I took my Switch to work the other day, and I had it, and I was like, my battery's a little low. I'm going to just put it on the charger for the work one and play it on the TV instead of playing it handheld. And people were walking into the room going, what is this game? This looks crazy. This is awesome. And like I had 3 or 4 people that just like sat down and watched because they were like intrigued by the art and everything of it.
That's cool.
It's a really good game. I think it's like $20 on the Switch store. So I think
did you jump into Kingdom Hearts Tuesday?
No.
Are you a big Kingdom Hearts
No.
3 person?
No, I am not
Oh,
a
okay.
Kingdom Hearts person.
Oh, okay.
Are you?
No, this is, I was late to the, it is funny how, this is just me, when the first ones came out, I was already like having babies. I wasn't
Yeah.
having them, my wife was, but,
Yeah.
but we,
Right.
so my attention was elsewhere, but
That sounds like it hurt.
I know, owies. That's a lot of Ed bucks
Yeah.
to make babies come out of Eddie. But my brothers, I have a pretty big age gap. I'm 17 years older than my youngest brother. And so they were just dialed right into that whole Kingdom Hearts thing. So I kind of vicariously, I'd sit and watch them play,
Yeah. Sure.
and kind of like comment and stuff. And so I'm aware of it. It's on my radar, but I just never actually played it. But I mean, what a insanely rabid fan base! They were just chomping at the bit for 3,
Oh, I
and
know.
they dragged it out forever.
Right.
Like,
I think that
Half-Life 3.
I think that I think that Disney at Kingdom Hearts 2 and Disney now they've changed a little. And
Yes,
so I think
yes.
like Disney, like
Yes.
working with Disney is maybe not as easy as it was
Oh,
at one
man.
point. And so
Right.
I have a feeling that it might have been, we've heard stories coming out of EA with like Battlefront stuff that it's like pretty difficult to work with them, like because EA wanted to sell like cosmetic, like I don't know,
Right.
But
Probably
Dazzle,
so you'd have a pink Darth
yeah,
Vader.
bedazzled Darth Vader
Yeah.
helmet or something like that. But so I'm sure getting this game made, I don't know. I don't really know. I'm not a huge fan of it. I've tried them a couple times in the past, but I left the house tonight and my wife just started playing it. So I hope to hear her report, see if it's good.
Has
I don't
she
know.
played the other games?
She played one of them. I don't know. She didn't love it, so she's like, I'm gonna try it again and see if it looks good. There's like a game where you play with Winnie the Pooh, and I don't know. There's flowers, and it looks like Bust a Move.
Oh, nice.
And then that's in there.
Okay.
So that's great.
I think for me, it's just like the whole premise doesn't grab me, and
Yeah.
maybe it's because I've never been really big into like the JRPGs.
Yeah.
But
never,
I bet
like,
you're really into taking selfies with Mike Wazowski, though.
Oh no!
Yeah, no, that's not your thing.
That's not my thing.
Okay.
So I mean, like I understand the premise and concept being cool for people that are like fans of Final Fantasy and fans of Disney and seeing this like huge crossover type of thing. But for me personally, I'm like, I don't like the JRPGs or Final Fantasy. It just kind of takes a huge part out of like even having an interest in it.
Fun fact: the main character in that game was originally voiced by Haley Joel Osment, which I did not realize.
Really?
And like,
He still is.
is he still the?
Yeah,
That's what I
he
was
is
gonna
still
ask.
number 3. Yeah.
He
Okay,
is.
and
yeah,
he's.
I actually looked it up
He's
with
like
a friend.
30 now.
I know. So I just wonder if the character's voice sounds that much different, or if they like pitched it up or something to make him sound younger.
They
I have
would
no
have had
idea.
to have.
Because
Yeah.
the character is older, at least than he was at 2. Like, I believe
Okay.
he's like 15 now. So,
So he's the same age as Haley Joel Osment is now. Okay, that makes sense.
yep.
So I don't know. I'm curious I've been spending a lot of time with Resident Evil 2, the remake that from the 1998
I've
game.
heard good
Yeah.
things.
That was one of my favorite PS1 games. I finished it last night on stream. So if anybody wants to check that out, go to our YouTube channel. /Minutub. The YouTube.com. There's 5 parts. A lot of people were saying it took them 6 hours to finish that game. It took me 10.
Oh,
so
okay.
hey, I was meticulous, except for at the end.
I mean,
It got bad.
you were also giving out advice and live weather updates through the course
That's
of
true.
it too.
That's
So
true. You got to add
yeah.
that in.
I was, you know, I
and
was trying
dog
to,
cam.
there was a lot of other exterior passive entertainment happening
Right.
during your passive entertainment.
Can I ask the most basic of questions?
absolutely.
About Resident Evil 2, the remake? Because that was one of the first games I had. Well, I moved out to Nebraska as a young man, seeking my fame and fortune.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. You moved from LA.
You made
As we all
it.
did. I moved
You've
from
made it.
Orlando.
Did you
the funny-
really?
I did.
Oh.
I did.
Well-
That's a story.
You got halfway to L.A.
I know, right? I just
Yeah.
stopped. My legs got tired. It's
yeah.
like, I'm done.
You're like, screw Forrest
where am I
Gump.
at?
I give up.
You're in Omaha. Cool. One of the first games I bought for my entertainment system, my PS1,
Yes.
was Resident Evil 2.
That's the first game I bought
in
for it.
1998.
Yep.
Virtual High Five.
High five, yes.
In that game, you could only save when you had an ink ribbon.
Yeah, for the typewriter.
Is it the same in this one?
So
Or
here's
did they
what
change that mechanic?
They modernized it to where there are checkpoints, but if you play on the highest difficulty,
That's
you have to have the ink ribbons to
That
save.
is so stressful.
Yeah.
Man.
So fortunately, I played it on the normal difficulty. I got to the final boss though last night, and I had just kind of boxed myself in a terrible way where I had like one shotgun shell,
Yep.
some pistol ammo, and a little bit of flamethrower fuel to take him on. And even if I hit him in his weak point with every bullet, everything, I couldn't kill him. I was just out
Really?
of stuff.
Jeez.
And
take
so,
your shoe off.
so I was like, do I start over from a save and make people watch a bunch of this game over again, or do I just drop the difficulty level and see if I can take him on?
Yeah.
You dropped the difficulty level.
So I
didn't you?
did,
You
and
have to at that
I felt bad about it. I felt cheap, but
Yeah.
but even then, I played through it, I think once or twice on the lowest difficulty level, and I was like, I'm not going to beat him. But I had to hit him with everything I had
Yeah.
in the exact spot, and
Jeez.
I finally killed him. And it was like, if I would have missed it with one bullet, it was over. So
Yeah.
I made like this extra challenging for myself. But it is a great remake. If you're into that game, it's it kind of feeds into that nostalgia a little bit, but it also just is beautiful. And they're using the new RE engine, and it's really good. So definitely check it out. The other thing I did this week, I checked out that Ted Bundy.
the documentary.
the doc on Netflix.
Oh boy.
How was that?
And like everybody that knows me, I say this a lot, but my top threes are cults, serial killers, and video games. So I'm really into that. I'm fascinated by the story, these like serial killer things and stuff like that. I don't know why. It's a disease.
It speaks to a larger problem.
Yeah, I need psychiatric help.
You're good.
It's
No.
your curiosity about humanity.
Yes, it is. Partially.
I think that's what it is.
Morbid curiosity. No, but it was really some of it. I felt like it didn't reveal that much new information. Like you kind of hope that when you watch one of those and you give 4 hours of your life to something, that you're going to
There's
get.
going to be some revelation.
Yeah, and it didn't quite have that moment. There was,
Okay.
there were some interesting things in there that you learn about Ted Bundy. Like I didn't realize he had escaped from prison twice. Like I didn't realize that was a thing. The other really fascinating thing to me was that, like, so first time he escaped from prison, they caught him pretty quickly. The second time, he starved himself in his jail cell to get skinny enough to take the light fixture out of the ceiling and crawl through it.
Are you serious? That's
Yeah.
how he escaped?
Yes. It's insane. And so
It's nuts.
Wow.
he
Points for
yeah,
persistence.
I know.
Right?
He really needed to kill some people, okay? He had to get out of there.
My goodness.
He gets out of prison that way, and he was in Colorado, and he makes it between planes, trains, and automobiles. He makes it to Florida.
Wow.
And so he starts another rampage of murder in Florida. And the crazy thing about it that just seems mind-boggling to like modern culture is that he got picked up on a traffic violation.
Yeah.
And he gave him a fake name, and he had a stolen driver's license, which at the time in the early 80s, they didn't have pictures on it.
No, yeah,
This is
right.
like a printed card. And so they're like, oh, okay, he's, Joe Schmo.
Right.
And because they didn't have, like the 24-hour news networks didn't work the same
Right.
and stuff like that, people didn't know his face as like now if someone did
Right.
that, everybody would know their
Right.
face.
In no time.
Yeah, so he's sitting in this prison. Finally, the guy who that driver's license belonged to calls the police station. It's like, hey, that's me. I'm not that guy. And so then they're trying to figure out who he is. And it took like weeks to figure out, oh, this is Ted Bundy, the guy that, is a serial killer, which, that he was the one that pretty much made
Right.
the FBI coin that term, right? It was Ted Bundy. And so I don't know, just hearing all that stuff, it's so fascinating to kind of just, I don't know how that world is, and like, and why did that not exist? You know, like you hear like Jack the Ripper and stuff like that, but like how it became such a prevalent thing in the America, you know, that these serial killers became kind of one of our greatest exports.
What gets me is the charisma on someone like that to get away with the stuff that he would have.
Oh, right.
I just don't. Yeah. And I mean the warning signs that he knew to keep down, like, oh, I better not freak this person. I don't want to get into someone's brain that much to try to figure that out.
Right.
But it's like, my goodness.
And
good
yet
riddance, Bundy.
And yet at the same time, there's like that little bit that's kind of like, what would put somebody to that point that they could actually feel like they could do that,
right?
And be okay with it,
right?
Like, that's
like, what happened.
Yeah.
Interesting cat.
Yeah.
I read a thing that Netflix was concerned with how many like people were commenting on how like attractive he was. That was an article I came across recently.
And that's the thing they kind of discussed in the doc too, because women would show up to his trial. And they were
say that he couldn't have been it.
They were enamored with him because and some were defending him, but also I think they were intrigued. Whatever, like, oh, this handsome guy, like what's his deal? He's dangerous. Like, oh, this is whatever. But the funny thing is, I saw someone tweet today, oh, Netflix was concerned about this, and then they had this picture up in like Hollywood or something, and it's this giant billboard, and it's just as close as you could get to Ted Bundy's face on the billboard, and it's just like, oh, okay,
right.
You can see his pores.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird. I mean, it's a scary world to think about, and like I'm not trying to bring everybody down and talk about serial killers, but
no, I mean, Crazy brings up, isn't Zac Efron playing a Too Sexy Bundy coming up in I think it's a movie that's coming out, and that's the one that like I saw I haven't like actually watched the trailer, but I've seen like the video playing as I've scrolled through social media.
Should've got Jonah Hill.
And I'm like, yeah, first of all,
I'm too sexy for this
Jonah
Bundy.
Hill.
Too sexy for this Bundy.
But I mean, it's kind of that idea of like, okay, now making a movie about him, starring Zac Efron, like, are we maybe trying to glamorize him as a person too much?
Yeah.
Plus, he was in High School Musical, guys.
Right.
There's nothing sacred.
Right.
Ah!
I mean, you get a guy like that has the following that he does of all the girls that watched him in High School Musical and everything else, that then you I mean, it is kind of that weird, like, let's almost glorify the Bundy story in that way. And maybe the movie won't, but I mean, that's just kind of the perception I got that made me feel a little icky.
I was trying to remember it, but that Jeffrey Dahmer movie
I was
about
gonna
him
say
growing
that,
up,
yeah.
that was Ross Lynch who played him, and he's a Disney actor.
Yeah.
He's from tons of different Disney stuff.
Yeah.
He's very popular. Real quick, I think that's Calnova says, screw the Bird Box challenge. Let's do the Ted Bundy challenge. How about not? But thank you for the suggestion, and welcome to the chat. It's good to see you here. Click that follow button and hang out for a while. The Bird Box challenge was fun. We thought about doing the show that way one
Just
night.
blindfolded?
And we decided against it.
I kind of did the Bird Box challenge a couple weeks ago.
When you had vertigo?
When I had vertigo.
Oh, no.
It was bad because I couldn't hardly open my eyes. Hey,
Crazy Legs, we didn't
stop it.
He always unfollows us and follows us again just to hear
He
this
just
show.
wants
Just to make that noise?
Yeah.
and to be at the very top of the list of followers. That's what it is. He
That's-
just wants to be right up there.
That's next level.
Uh-huh.
But no, I mean, like, my wife literally had to drag me out to the garage because our garage is separate from our house. Literally, like, walked me because I couldn't open my eyes
no.
because of the vertigo. It was bad. And then it was like, after the fact, I'm like, I guess I did kind of do the Bird Box challenge there. Like,
I had to Bird Box challenge the first 5 years of my marriage because I had to be at work at 6, so I had to get dressed in the dark. In my room.
I've done that.
I've done that too.
Walk out with my sweater on backwards, like whatever.
Luckily now we have like the flashlight on your phone, so I'm like
Exactly.
in my bedroom in the morning going
Holding it like an animal in your teeth.
Yeah,
like,
I know. Trying to pull your shirt over it.
That may be my favorite thing of my latest iPhone is that now I don't even have to like swipe anything to get to that.
It has
it's
a dedicated.
It's there.
Yeah,
it's
right there.
right on the front
They
of the
finally
page.
acknowledge-
right when you need it.
How much we need that light.
I still
For all
swipe. I still swipe up to try and turn my volume down or find what I was playing and play it again. But having that light there is really nice.
Tell us more about the UI of your phone, Kyle. I'm very
fascinated.
intrigued.
Let's get deep dive.
You brought it up. It would have been helpful to have when I did work at 6 o'clock in the morning last year.
I did watch over this last weekend. I finally got to the old Black Mirror Bandersnatch. Finally,
I have not done that yet.
done it yet.
Yeah,
it's
Is
fun.
it good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how much you guys like Black Mirror. It's kind of a dark show. It's not happy like
No,
most of the endings aren't.
That's right up my alley.
Yeah,
Okay,
I like
I know.
it. I haven't watched enough of it because my wife wants to watch it with me, but then
Yeah.
it's like anytime I bring it up, she's like, "No, I'm not in the mood
not
to
in the mood,
watch
not in the
that.
mood."
I don't want to go to that dark a place."
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's good.
It looks like it's a little bit different too.
It
Like
is.
from the
It's a
trailer,
little.
it doesn't look like it has the same level of darkness.
It
But,
depends
I
on
mean-
depends on the story you pick.
I'm guessing.
It goes south quick.
I think maybe some of the reason that it doesn't feel to me like that just from watching it is because it looks like, I mean, it's older. It's
Yeah.
like set in the past.
Set in
so
the 80s.
The whole like future technology that's very much like driven in the Black Mirror episodes.
Yeah, but I mean, it's based on like a video game development company, right? Like that's
It's
kind
based
of
on a
what-
fictional video game development company, based on a fictional book that this person decides he wants to make a game out of, and
Oh,
it's
okay.
a choose your own adventure style book. And if any of you guys read,
Right.
or any of the watchers, listeners
Oh,
read
yeah.
a choose your own adventure book, what a masterful
Yeah, it was great.
book those were. I love those
Right.
things.
I had a
And
Batman one. I read it front to back over and over and over again. Like,
Oh, so fun! And I had like the old school white ones. That was the title, Choose Your Own Adventure, and you totally died the first time you read
Yeah.
it. Like, oh,
Right.
cool, I'm dead.
You
But-
always pick poorly.
Yeah, exactly. And so with this, the cool interface about this is not a spoiler, is that if you do choose an ending that cuts the story off short, the algorithm or the program will back you up right before that critical
nice.
choice,
Oh, so you
and then
keep going.
allow you to choose differently.
kind of a video game.
So then you don't have to
Exactly.
go back and
To the
watch it from the very beginning.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you to get through your first viewing of it then?
About 2 hours.
Yeah, okay, so
2,
normal
15.
movie.
Yeah. And so, and I watched most of the endings. I think there's a couple of other little sideways ones that I didn't get to, but
Okay.
I did see most of them, and it was really entertaining.
It sounded like the director said it was kind of a production nightmare, though.
I can
like
imagine.
to try to figure
Yeah.
out how to like
Oh.
wire all of these plot lines together,
Oh.
and like, and they're saying there's even plot lines that he doesn't even know of or something,
Yeah.
like endings that
Really?
they edited
That's
together.
crazy.
that-
There's some crazy endings to this,
Oh,
and
really?
I don't want to give away too much, but and you can see where it's going. Kind of like, okay, I'm going to ride this thing into the rocks, and then you just keep going, and
That's awesome.
It's fun. It's fun. I recommend it 100%.
What device did you watch it on?
Just a TV.
What I
Netflix.
mean, did you use like just a smart TV?
Yeah.
that had- okay.
Just a remote.
So see, that's what's
I've
so
heard
weird
some-
to me.
Some don't work, right?
Is I've got like not the newest Apple TV, but the one previous,
Yeah.
and it doesn't work with it. It's not compatible, and I'm like, it has a remote, like why, like a
no.
touchpad, and then and there's like a handful of other devices that it doesn't work
Right.
on, which is crazy to me. That,
Oh yeah,
that-
a Fire Stick. That's what I watched. it
Oh,
on.
okay.
An Amazon
okay.
Fire Stick.
Okay, so yeah, but
I'm hoping when
I
I
think I can
finally-
watch it on Xbox though. Obviously,
There you
because
go.
There's a controller.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah, I'm hoping when I finally fire it up, I've got a Roku TV,
Yeah.
so I'm hoping that
Good
one
luck,
will
Kyle. I'm
work.
wishing you.
I think
I'm
the
wishing
fingers
you the
crossed.
best.
I think Roku does work.
It's fun.
Yeah.
You heard it here. Kuipers is reporting.
Kuipers,
Man on the
thank
street. Roku works.
There it is.
You're lucky.
Because I was going to start it once, but then I realized how much time I had, and I thought, not now.
Yeah, you need to dance now.
Crazy Legs there. Choose Your Own Adventure. Goosebumps. Folks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
were awesome.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's dive into some news real quick here. We've got a couple stories. I don't know, Jeremy. You know, he likes to throw in a real oddball story and then bail on us. So let's just read the headline. Let's get the overall view of this, and then we'll see if it's worth discussing because this might just be a trap. I'm also concerned because the website is universityfox.com, and if it was a real university, it would be .edu. So there is definitely, potential that this is just, fake news.
It could be.
I
It
know.
could be.
Anyways, the headline reads, bride-to-be finds herself in hot water after asking guests to dress according to their appearance.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
What does that mean?
So, apparently, she posted in this group that was all the people that she had invited to her wedding. That they
Like a Facebook group.
Yeah, a Facebook group that she had made for the people that they're inviting because they're doing this wedding in Hawaii. They have a dress code for a dance that they are going to do for a picture or a video or something. And the way that it is set up is based on people's size. So women that are from like 100 to 160 pounds are supposed to wear one thing.
What color, Kyle?
It's green velvet sweater, and there's actually in the article there are some pictures if Kuipers wants to pull them up of like what people are supposed to be wearing.
Okay.
So if they're 100 to 160 pounds, they're supposed to wear a green velvet sweater, orange suede pants, a specific type of heels, and then a specific scarf.
So when she says appearance, she means
Right.
weight.
She means
She
weight.
means size.
Yes.
Person. That is
because the
evil.
right, and
So
the dress code that she says is very specific because it will be used to create an incredible visual effect. If done right, it'll make our synchronized dancing along whatever beach really pop.
I gotta point this out. I can't. I'm sorry to skip ahead, but the cruelest thing. Men over 200 pounds, I need you to wear all camouflage.
All camo.
All camo and black sneakers, and women 160 pounds or over, all black sweater and all black pants,
You know,
and then
like,
black heels.
For a tall dude to be under 200 pounds is like pretty. Like it's not normal. Like for like.
Yeah,
Right.
Eric, you're probably wearing camo.
Yeah, I know. I'm definitely
this
wearing
wedding.
camo.
Yeah,
I am
too.
I mean, maybe I'm wearing a camel. I don't know.
Well, but this isn't all. So I mean, there's already this aspect of it, and then they do point out in the article that that like the scarf that the women in the first category are supposed to be wearing is something that's going to cost them a couple $100, right?
Right.
And then like the dudes that are 100 to 200 pounds, purple fuzzy jacket, a soda hat, so one of those like
a
one of
beer
those
can
plastic
hat,
beer can
yeah.
hats, white sneakers, and then random glow sticks.
What?
For what reason?
Where
no
do the
one
glow
knows.
sticks go? Where are
Right?
you putting those?
It's not specified.
It's not specified.
You just have to carry them all night.
But then on
Under your
top of this, all of these people are supposed to be bringing formal wear as well. And she says, additionally, we require that you wear formal attire after the dancing has ended, which this is in Hawaii. So a bunch of people that are dancing in Hawaii where it's hot, going to get all sweaty, and then they're supposed to change into formal attire. And they want them to be in a specific, they said, be looking your absolute best. Please, if you look like trash, so will we.
If you look like trash.
And then she says, all jokes aside, we want you to invest in an outfit valued at least $1,000. This includes jewelry, accessories, makeup, and hair. Remember,
insane.
ladies and gents, this wedding is 24K themed for a reason. You have a year and a half to get working. No excuses. Mwah.
You just don't go to that wedding.
This one line says, all jokes aside, we want to invest in an outfit valued at least $1,000. This includes jewelry, accessories,
Yes.
makeup, and hair.
Right.
That is
So-
crazy.
So
Wow.
then, somebody...
They're definitely not getting gifts, but I'm assuming they're not expecting
Right.
gifts. Like,
or,
this is your
or
gift.
they are expecting gifts because they're those
people.
they're at that
Those.
status or whatnot.
Yeah.
You
Or
know
they
who you
want to
are.
be at that status, right? So then they posted something that said a very important update. It has come to my attention that someone went all the way down in the group's creation to screenshot the dress code requirements. It was taken wildly out of context and has gone semi-viral on Facebook and Reddit. I've seen my post twice on a regular Facebook account. I could not be more crushed, betrayed, or saddened. I trusted each and every one of you so intimately. Knowing someone went behind my back and made fun of me is one of the worst feelings everywhere. And boy, will you be paying. Therefore, I am announcing one of the most unique parties you will ever be invited to in your life, besides my actual wedding. In honor of the snitch who sold me out, I will be hosting the first ever polygraph party at my house, Saturday at 8 p.m. Bring your inner Sherlock Holmes because we will be hunting out the snitch who put me on blast. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. We just bought a real polygraph test for $99 on Amazon. After the testing is over and we find the rat who did this, we will all celebrate with drinks and appetizers. If you can't make it to the polygraph party, you will be presumed guilty unless you can provide a valid excuse. We can make this party a unique and good one that will be told for years to come. I promise, as long as you're innocent, you have nothing to worry about. Smiley face.
My goodness.
Right?
There are some monsters out there, man. She's like Ted Bundy level.
Yeah, I know, right? There should be a Netflix documentary about this woman.
I know.
Yeah. This sounds like the Fire Festival. Only.
Yes, that's a good. Hey, I saw that documentary too. I watched that documentary too.
Did you watch it?
That one looks like that'd be really good.
It's so if you like watching, entitled people catch on fire.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great Friday night.
Not literal fire, just,
Right.
you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
There was one other thing that they put in here that they said if you don't want to be a part of the synchronized dance, there are other ways you can help, such as helping the crew clean up after dinner or contribute to the honeymoon because, as she says, anything counts.
Who is this person?
I don't know.
It's like, how do you not like try to search the internet to find out who this actually is? Like,
Right.
I mean, the
I hope it's
entitlement
real.
there.
I hope it's
Yeah.
not real.
Yeah, if this isn't real, someone went to a lot of work to make a very
Right.
fascinating story.
Right. I mean, then they should be working in Hollywood, writing for like a real TV show or something,
We got a question here. You said you watched the Fire documentary. Did you watch the Hulu or Netflix? That's what they're asking. For the
Netflix.
chat.
I watched
Okay,
it on
Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are two of them floating around up there
Oh,
now.
really?
There's
Two
one on-
different ones.
There's
Yeah,
one on
okay.
Hulu.
It's kind of a Dante's Peak, Inferno situation here.
Crazy Legs says Netflix was better. I don't know. I didn't watch both, but the Netflix one is really great. It just details out how this came to be, the guy who got it started, and
Right.
it's a giant. It's a great story, but it's a huge
It
con.
looks like
basically.
it was the biggest mess that may not have necessarily even been intended to be a con, but almost like
Yeah.
at least the way that the trailer made it looked like it was supposed to be a real thing
Yeah.
that turned into a con because things went sideways in the process of it.
Yeah.
Which maybe I'm wrong, and I want to watch it because it looks like it's just a fascinating story.
The Hulu one I haven't watched either of them yet. I was actually watching a YouTube video last week discussing the differences to try to choose which one I was going to commit to, and I think I kind of talked about this last week. But,
Right.
But the Hulu one actually had an interview with the guy that
guy,
started
yeah.
it, but they paid him like an absurd
Yeah.
amount of money or something to interview him.
He did not get interviewed for this one. They interviewed
Yeah.
everybody but him.
That
Okay.
probably was a smart move.
I think so. I think you probably got a. Anyway, the best analogy I have for this is think back to your younger selves.
Right.
Have you ever, like on your bikes, and you pulled off a wicked trick that you
Yeah.
did by accident?
Yep.
And you were like, "That was so cool! I'm going to do that again." And then you tried it again, and then
It
you
never
like
works.
you just destroyed yourself.
Yeah.
That is the Fire Festival.
Okay,
like
that's a great analogy, actually.
he
That's
managed
amazing.
to do the first thing well. That was like some other like it was like a membership card that people paid for.
Okay, because
and you got
he had some
discounts.
claim
Right.
to fame before this.
That
right?
was
And
what.
that was
Right. And then you got a little taste,
because they're like he's the most brilliant marketer ever.
That's
and like all
exactly
this stuff.
right.
Yeah.
So he landed his first trick, and he's like, "Watch this one, guys!" And then
Yeah.
he landed on his head.
Yeah, like the crazy thing, didn't they like buy an island and then they couldn't use the island and they had to like buy another
They
island?
found out
or
that it was like
something?
owned by Pablo
Yeah,
Escobar
so
or something.
I'll spoil this one thing if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
they go
So-
for it.
So they didn't really buy. They put a down payment. If anybody's bought a house, we know how this works, or a
Right,
car or
right.
anything. He put a down payment on the island.
Okay.
And one of as part of the purchase agreement from the lawyer he was working through said, you cannot disclose, because it was legit Pablo Escobar's island.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, part of this purchase agreement is that you cannot disclose that this used to be Pablo Escobar's island. You cannot say it. And they said one of the first things they did was they announced this used to be Pablo Escobar's island.
Cocaine for everyone.
It's crazy. That's not saying it's
man.
cocaine.
Narcotic island.
So
that's
yeah,
great.
just right out of the gate, they already showed that they were not well prepared to
All right.
honor your purchase agreement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably smart. All right. We've got. I mean, yeah. Screw this lady and her fancy wedding. I don't know. Enjoy
yeah.
your life.
She's
I
a
guess.
monster.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, if you're friends with her and you're okay with all these things that you're doing, then you guys were meant for each other.
It reminds me of Bill Hader's SNL character who would like describe the nightclubs in New York.
Stefan?
Stefan,
Yes.
yeah. The hottest club. Like it's just like
Any guest over 200 pounds will be made to wear camouflage and brown boots.
right. I know. I was just
Black boots. It's the most stunning.
yeah. I just totally
Venue.
see this.
It's a synchronized dance with glow sticks.
That's funny.
and soda hats. It is.
Purple
This has got to be a
sweaters.
gag.
Purple sweaters.
It's the Fire Fest, like you said.
Yeah.
a wedding.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Well. Anyways. All right. We got another headline, hot off the press. I think this was announced yesterday.
Yesterday, I think. Yeah.
It's official. Ben Affleck is not returning for the Batman standalone film.
Got the saliva string there on
That's
true.
pleasant
on the
to look
teeth
at.
there.
Yeah.
Swallow first, Ben.
I was eating a bat burger.
Cheese stick
Yeah.
before. Just really yummy.
Really yummy.
Mozzarella.
It's so stringy, I
It's
can't
so
help
stringy.
it.
Oh shit. Mozzarella. Sorry, guys.
I just the whole story of Ben Affleck and the arc of him as Batman has been such a crazy weird ride, going from people being like, man, this really sucks, and then the Batman vs Superman came out, and then people were like, oh, that was actually the best part of the movie was Batman, and we actually might kind of like this Batman, and then him being the director of the movie, and then not being the director of the movie, but digging in and being like, I'm so excited I'm going to be Batman because he's the best, out there. And now it's just fizzled into this, he's not doing it, and you've already lost Superman, supposedly.
Has that been officially, I feel like that still is up there, isn't it?
The bottom of the article here from ET says that apparently Jason Momoa had told them that it's not the case, that he is left. So maybe there still is hopes that they can renegotiate the contract for him and get him back in.
Well, and Affleck had just didn't he just get or did he just come out of rehab, or he was just in rehab?
I mean,
there was a lot of
it seems like he keeps going back and forth with that. Like he's been a couple times, I think. So
you look at a movie like Argo that he directed, he wrote. That movie is amazing. It's such a good movie. And when I heard he was going to do Batman, I'm thinking, man, if he could apply that type of, I don't know, if he could make it. I mean, obviously, I'm going to make Bargo, the Batman Argo movie.
Bargo.
But, but it's just the thing that
I'm here to get you out.
The quality of that film, I'm like, if you could apply that to a Batman movie, we'd be almost in the Nolan territory. It could be, it'd be different, but it could be cool, And then that Batman versus Superman came out, and it was a little awkward with him in it, and then the Justice League, it gets a little more awkward, and it never just clicked. He never clicked with the character. I don't think it was hard to. It was almost like he just took it. I don't know. I can't say he took it too seriously, because you look at in the Nolan's Batman, that was a very serious Batman, and but.
Well, I mean, and it was. I think with Snyder's Batman, it was very much, you saw that Rorschach was modeled off of what his vision of Batman was, because it felt very Rorschach-like in that movie.
Yeah, I can see that comparison.
So, and Kelnova says John Hamm for the Bat. I think he might be. The article here says that they're looking to go for a little bit of a younger.
That's what I've been reading too.
That they're not necessarily doing an origin story, but they're wanting to find something that's an early career defining type of story for Batman. So that might be a little bit old for what they're looking for, but I mean,
I hear Haley Joel Osment is looking for.
Hey, Kenny. Hey, if he can play a character from Kingdom Hearts,
I suppose he can do anything. Yeah.
I see dead people.
I see Martha. She's always following me around.
Wasn't it's paranormal Bat Dad?
We've got it. Hollywood, we've got your movie.
All right, we're starting a new podcast.
Paranormal Bat Dad. Wasn't there some discussion, and I know this was partially just kind of fan service maybe, but wasn't there some mild discussion of Michael Keaton doing a Batman Beyond or a...
that would be awesome. I would
Really?
love that.
Yeah.
I love Michael Keaton. He's one of my favorite Batmans.
That
one of mine, too.
I saw an article the other day that said that the guy from Boy Meets World that voiced the actual Batman Beyond character said that he wants to reprise the role.
okay.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if are they talking about doing a live action version of it?
I don't know.
Or,
Let's just do a live action one, and we'll put Mark Hamill as Joker in the movie.
There you
oh
go.
my gosh.
Old Joker,
Yes.
old Batman.
Hey.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I'm with you on Ben Affleck. I was kind of resigned to the idea more than anything. Well, he's in the movie now, so.
Yeah.
But I
Right.
kind of felt what you were getting at was it felt like it felt more like Ben Affleck trying to be Batman than Batman.
It was almost like
Especially
he
in
could,
Yes.
Justice League. Yeah, the
felt like
Batman versus Superman felt a little more like he was a little more grounded in
Yeah.
what he was doing, and there was a little more. He seemed a little more dead inside in Justice League.
It was almost like he was trying to convince himself
he's
he's Batman, and it just felt like you're watching him do that on screen, which
Yes.
was uncomfortable
Right,
for the
yes.
audience, I think.
Yeah, he was from the fashionable male
Yeah.
trying to be a Batman.
Which I was never in the party of. Oh, Ben Affleck sucks.
No,
Like,
me
I've
neither,
seen
me
him.
neither.
I've seen him in some movies where
Yeah.
he's great, and but he's also been in some real flops.
I think
so.
I think a lot of people's like reservations about him being Batman stemmed from Daredevil.
Yeah.
Which I mean, having watched that, you know,
I mean,
in the
rightfully
last
so.
couple, right?
That was a bad
But
movie.
watching it in the last couple of, I watched it a couple of years ago because I hadn't seen it and wanted to kind of be like, was this really as bad? And it felt like if they hadn't used as much like early 2000s rock and roll for the soundtrack of it, and if the director hadn't forced him to just cross his eyes and look off to whatever direction to convey that he's blind, I think it would have been a much better. I mean,
Is that what they had him do?
That's literally, you watch it and like in scenes he's like cross-eyed, like looking almost like away, like he can't tell that the person is right here. So he's looking off to the side with his eyes crossed.
That makes me sad.
Right, and it's like. Especially after watching Daredevil,
sorry to any
the
blind
television
listeners.
show, and
Yeah.
and like the way that Matt Cox doesn't always like
He doesn't
make like
focus.
the focus
Yeah.
of contact, but it's not like he's. If you look at him, you just think that maybe he's looking a different way, or he's just not like a guy that makes eye contact with people.
Yeah.
And I think that was really the biggest part that, like, watching it, that's the part that stood out in the Daredevil movie, was like, oh my gosh, this is just painful to watch, because he's just, every time he doesn't have the mask on, he's just standing there cross-eyed and looking slightly to the left or right of somebody
I
that
need
he's
to
talking
rewatch
to.
this at this point.
Yeah, I feel like it's maybe we should do one of those film commentaries. Let's
Yeah.
let's all
We
like,
should
watch
and turn it
and
into like a drinking game.
There we go.
Whenever he goes cross-eyed, we'll just take a drink.
Calnova
Oh,
says,
man.
"Get the Percy Jackson kid swole.
Get him
Put him in a
swole.
bat suit."
He's
So.
like 4'11".
yeah, maybe he got taller. Maybe puberty happened.
Maybe it hit.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
it hit.
Anyways, I speaking of DC though, not to totally jump off this subject.
Let's do it.
I'm cautious to say this, but like, I was cautiously impressed with the Shazam trailer.
Oh, dude,
Did you see that?
I'm excited.
I
I'm
haven't
sorry.
seen the newest one. I saw the one that came out, I think it was like around Comic-Con, like the last year's.
Oh, you haven't seen the
San
new
Diego.
one?
I haven't seen the new one, but the one from last
Kuipers,
year's
we gotta
San
watch
Diego.
it. Kuipers,
pulling it up.
find it.
I was on board with it because I had thought that it was like a WB TV show
Yeah.
when they first announced it, and I
Yeah.
saw that it was the dude that was on Chuck, and I was like, oh, okay, that's something I'm not going to watch. And then I saw it was a movie, and I was like, oh, maybe
Huh.
I could probably invest 2
Okay.
hours in it. And that first trailer looked so cool.
I
No
know,
Kuipers,
we're
I
gonna-
can't see it.
And I'm making sure it's nope. This is the old one.
He's getting the
Type
new
in
one.
new in YouTube. Anyways, it's not that super important, but I don't know. I feel like these DC movies have been so hit or miss. Like Wonder Woman was pretty good. And, I mean, too great maybe. I've heard some people said they liked Aquaman, or it was a better
Did you
one
see
of them. I haven't
Aquaman?
seen Aquaman yet.
I did.
Kuipers is
Did
his
you like
favorite.
it?
It's his favorite
I loved it.
superhero. So just
I loved it. Did Kuiper see it?
he
Oh yeah, I saw. I actually saw it before even coming here on the TUBCast.
Yeah,
Before like
he-
the day it came out.
Yeah. I mean, I personally loved it. This is my own take. I like it when it's a little bit fun.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
know, and then that's been the big critique of DC. Too dark. And I love a good dark story too.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but I do like it when it's a little bit. Flash Gordon's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so like when it's a little bit fun, you got my attention.
I feel like it very much. They are trying to tap into Aquaman as the Thor character for the DC
I
universe.
could see that.
Oh, I agree.
And it felt like they really kind of hit that sweet spot in between like the more serious tone of that first Thor movie and
Yep.
then Ragnarok.
Yeah.
That just felt like it didn't take itself seriously, and it was a great
Like I said, I
movie.
haven't seen it, but the thing that I heard was that like the CG in it was like jarring, because sometimes it was great, it
Yeah.
looked
Yep.
awesome, and then other times it just looked awful.
Yep.
Like, is that everybody?
That's a
kinda-
fair assessment.
Okay,
I'd
okay.
say.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's watch this real quick.
Let's do this.
It's really good. Kyle needs to see it.
Bats, I choose you. Say my name so my powers will become yours.
Wait, is this?
I'd like to purchase some of your finest beer, please.
All right.
Shazam.
A lair. Yes. If you have a location like on a cliff, like a castle-esque.
This
type
is not
thing,
the one
or
I was
some-
thinking.
Or look at some water.
Is there a
splashing on
longer one
rocks and
that-
Stuff, then we will take that.
Is this newer? When was this one posted?
This one was just like a week.
If you could have one superpower.
Oh,
like
this is
a
the
week ago?
this is the one I was thinking
That's
of.
the that's
Okay.
the
This-
long one.
Yeah.
So they can fly away from this conversation.
No, because heroes fly.
Bailey Bats. I choose you as champion.
This means Billy.
What is happening?
What are your superpowers?
Superpowers, dude? I don't even know how to pee in this thing.
Be humble.
You're like a bad guy, right?
Be humble. Sit down. Be humble.
Gentlemen! I'm bulletproof.
You're dead.
Sorry about your window, but you're welcome for not getting robbed. Oh, hey, what's up? I'm a superhero.
That looks so fun.
Oh man. Anyways, that's still not the trailer I thought it was, but it's fine.
I think
one
that
where
might
he's
have been
flossing. It's kinda
that
fun.
might have been the first one. Was
Yeah.
that one right there?
Yeah, anyways,
Yeah,
but it looks really good.
Looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
With Wix, you can create.
I don't want a
professional websites.
professional website.
Now he found it. Trailer number 2.
This is the actual. We don't need to watch it though. I think people get the idea.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fine.
You get the
Thank
idea.
Thank
It's
you,
it's fun. It's gonna be fun.
Hopefully, I really like. It's the thing. Like, did they put everything, all the best parts of the trailer? Like, hopefully,
Right.
it's
Is
more
that the
than
movie?
that. Yeah.
Please no.
Anyways, let's see. What did we miss in the chat? Is there anything important going on in there that you saw?
I think there was a.
Why are we back to
confusion-
Sexy Bundy?
There
That's
was-
all I need to know.
I don't know. There was a confusion. Wasn't Shazam a movie starring Shaquille O'Neal?
I thought so.
That's a big
and it's
myth.
Kablam.
Kazam.
Kazam. It was
Kazam.
Kazam, not
Yeah.
Kablam.
Yeah.
Carl Nova said Kablam, but it is Kazam.
Yeah.
Kazam.
And then
He was in Steel
Let's
too,
see.
wasn't he?
I think
Shaquille,
so.
that
yeah.
one. Was he in Steel? Was Shaq in Steel?
Then Crazy Legs checked his TUBCAST account and was depressed. You need to watch more frequently Crazy Legs. That's how you gain TUBCAST.
Yes, Shaquille O'Neal was in Steel.
Yes.
So
He's
there
a
you
guy.
go. That's a good fact to have. For
Put that in the
something.
old brain pan
I mean, when you're on Jeopardy and Alex Trebek is.
as you're dying. That's the last thing that goes through your mind.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks.
Shaq
Right.
was in Steel.
Crazy also asks, wait, is Shazam John Leguizamo? No.
No, that's-
Levi Zachary, or is it Zachary,
Levi. Yeah. You got it flipped around. Your name
he's
dyslexic.
got 2 first names.
when your
So,
name is Charlie Henry.
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
I love a good Henry Charlie. Yes. So, anyways, that I mean, we'll see where Shazam goes. We'll see. I am very curious who Batman is. Like, I'm not the one to get worked up over it because I feel like even like the whole Heath Ledger thing, people
Yeah.
were worked up about that originally, and
It
we
was
saw how
amazing,
that
yeah.
turned out.
No,
So
yeah.
I think you got to like just stay cool about it and see
Right.
how it works out, and then sometimes you get your Ledgers, sometimes you get your Suicide Squad.
Sometimes you get your
Yeah.
Jared
Speaking of which,
Leto.
I guess they put out like a 20-second teaser trailer for the Birds of Prey
Right.
Harley Quinn movie.
Oh, really?
That doesn't even come out until next year.
Yep. Yep.
Sometimes I wonder why they put out teasers like that. That's like a full year ahead of a movie,
Right.
and then there's other movies that you don't even get a teaser trailer for until like a month before.
Or you get a teaser for the teaser. Those are always
Yeah.
fun.
This is probably like fodder for a different episode, but it's like I feel like when they do that, when they kick out a teaser like that, when it's that far out, and then as we all know, the bottom falls out
Yeah.
of these movies sometimes. Doesn't that undermine the brand in my mind to you guys?
Yeah,
like
I
you see
think so.
DC's like, oh, here's a big thing, get excited, and then they take it away from you, and you're like, I don't trust you anymore.
Yeah, definitely. That's
You know?
It seems like a really bad move.
Anyway.
but it's also like it's like their barometer. And then when they see that maybe excitement isn't
Right.
as high, then they're like, okay, let's pull the plug.
Let's not
maybe.
do it.
Yeah, it sucks.
DC.
Calnova says, "Duh, foo." Our tub bucks.
Manchu, our tub buck.
No, tub bucks are a currency that
Our stream currency.
You occur as you watch every minute. You get a tub buck. Is that how it works? Right.
Oh wow.
Well, I think it's changed a little bit because of the program. I think it's like every 5 minutes you get 5 tub bucks, or 10
whatever.
minutes. It equates to a minute, but you have to watch for the 5 to get it, or 10.
So you'll this whole time you've been earning tub bucks, and then you can spend them on things. So there you go.
That's amazing.
All right, this is the part where we to jump into the mailbag, where we reach in.
Yeah.
We put the big like plastic glove on that the farmers use to fertilize the
Oh,
cattle.
goes up to your shoulder.
Yeah, and we
All
reach
the way.
We reach in, and then we feel around in the dark and go, oh wait, there's nothing in there.
There's nothing in there.
So we don't have anything in our mailbag tonight, unfortunately. But if you'd like to send us an email, go ahead and send that to tubcast@minuteatub.com, or you can leave us a voicemail at 475-TUB-CALL. That's right, it's 475-TUB-CALL. Leave us a voicemail. We'll play it on air. We'll talk about it, or we'll read your email. We can discuss whatever topics you want to discuss, whether it's Ben Affleck, if you want to talk about Ben Affleck, or
if you've got an idea
He-Man,
of who you think should be Batman.
Talk about He-Man.
We could talk about Groundhog's Day. I'm just saying anything's possible.
Groundhog's Day.
That concludes our portion of the show that is titled the mailbag. So incredibly.
It's heartbreaking.
It is sad. It's sad here a lot of times. And it's not just when I talk about serial killers that it gets sad.
Oh, we're still happy.
No, I'm just kidding. All right, everybody. But before we go, we cannot forget to thank all of the great and wonderful and lovely Patreon peeps. That is correct, ladies and gentlemen. These are all the wonderful, beautiful, handsome, other great people that donate on our Patreon. That's patreon.com/MinuteTub. You can go there and donate any amount that you feel we are worthy of. And that's a monthly donation that goes to helping us put on this show, helping us go to cons, helping us do whatever we can do. Really, it's just like that little bit of encouragement that says, keep going, guys. Gee willikers, you're good at this.
Plus, we give you our secret Discord.
That too, and it also makes us, feel really accountable to you. Yes, that's right. You can always join our Discord channel. It's open to everybody. But if you want to be in the secret channel on Discord, that's only for Patreon members. That gets you in there too. $1 could do it. You could do it. $1 a month gets you in there. So
gets you into our Discord channel.
Secret society.
But
I'm looking at you, crazy legs.
That's right. I got to thank you, Eddie, for being here.
Yes.
It was awesome having
pleasure,
you.
guys.
I appreciate the energy you brought to the show. It was a lot of fun tonight. It's good to have a fellow podcaster with enthusiasm who hasn't just been burnt out and got all crusty and mad.
Right.
I'm crusty on the inside.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I mean, as long as it's only on the inside.
Exactly.
thanks
right?
for moisturizing your exterior for us this evening.
Anytime.
No, it's been great. Kuipers, thanks for holding down the show as always. Jeremy, good luck disproving global warming. We'll see you back next week potentially.
Crazy did want to say thanks for the good times. Cool, younger Jeremy. You can come to my Get Kicked Out of the Mac Hotel party this year at OCC.
All right.
I'm
great.
there.
So there you go.
There
He
we
says,
go.
whatever happens, the casino will take us in.
All right.
Your money's good there.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again, Eddie. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Make sure you check out Eddie's stuff. That's thepodcastarcade.com.
Yes.
Where you can go ahead and type that into your keyboard. You'll find things there, all of his shows on his network.
All of the shows.
And it'll be a lovely time.
So fun.
And we'll see you all next week. Be sure to tune in Thursdays at 9 p.m. on twitch.tv/MinuteTub. Also, turn those alerts on because you never know when one of us is going to be streaming a video game.
You never know when Dog Cam is on.
Or when I might just dance at midnight for a half hour to the iTunes Top 20.
I've been missing this whole
Yeah.
And that's really
It
bad.
happened.
I deleted that from the internet.
You shouldn't have.
I don't
It
know
was
if
gold.
anybody saved it.
I want it back.
I don't think
Really
anyone did.
uncomfortable.
No.
Anyways, good night, everybody.